about supervision for learning. Hello, good day to everyone. Today, we will tackle about a performance-based approach to teacher development and school improvement, supervision for learning. Reconceptualizing supervision and evaluation. On page 9. So as a teachers and administrators, we came to understand the process of supervision and evaluation through a fairly common set of experiences. As teachers, we met with our supervisor at the beginning of each academic year to determine a mutually agreeable focus for professional growth. In order to improve and become progressive, it needs the actions and efforts of the teachers and the staff of school. As states, districts and schools wrestle with revising and implementing systems to include a strong accountability component. New standards are being written which require a value-added feature in a teacher's performance rating. As districts revise their supervision and evaluation procedures, they have formed task forces to study the issue, poured over research to determine if there are tried and true practices that have been successful, and completed searches to determine if there are some ready-made programs that can be purchased to fill the bill. The supervision and evaluation process administrators follow has a great deal in common with the teaching and learning process. Teachers follow as they work with their students. All districts have an articulated plan for how teachers and other district personnel will be supervised and evaluated. Some districts implement these plans to the letter. Others treat them more as loose guidelines. Okay. Performance-based supervision and evaluation offers an instructive process that can be integrated into a district's present system. First, when teachers and supervisors focus their PBSE work on improving teaching and learning, classroom observations are purposeful and related to the teacher's professional development plan. They become an opportunity for the supervisor to collect related data, to observe for specific elements of effective teaching, and to offer focused feedback. Second, the model supports collaboration and collegial discourse about student learning and is directly linked to the school improvement process. Third, PBSE is appropriate for use with teachers and administrators at all stages of their careers. Specific growth targets and interventions can be differentiated according to individual learning, group, or team needs. Leaders cannot expect teachers to automatically trust them because they have a title after their name. Just as teachers must earn the respect of their students, administrators must earn the respect of their teachers. A consistent ingredient in a planned observation is the planning conference, sometimes called the pre-conference. The purpose of this interaction is for the teacher to explain the lesson that the supervisor is going to observe. A resourceful leader must fully understand that she must continue to add skills and knowledge to her practice in order to fulfill her responsibilities as a professional. Strong leaders are curious, open-minded, introspective, and operate on the belief that any professional must be constantly learning and evolving. They seek out resources learn about new ideas and fresh approaches, and engage in dialogues with fellow professionals on a continual basis. Most importantly, they become a model for learning and professionalism for the entire staff. When teachers have confidence in their leaders, they find the supervision and evaluation process much more meaningful. We have developed an approach to supervision and evaluation that helps build educators' capacity to address student learning needs. It underscores the professionalism of teaching by asking teachers to take a more active role in determining the focus of their professional efforts, and it places students' learning at the heart of this focus. Districts typically use a system that enabled administrators to record their observation of many characteristics of good classrooms. Things like all students, desks, and straight rows, legible teacher penmanship, and artfully designed bulletin boards. Although some districts look carefully at the qualities of teaching and learning, the majority of supervisors' efforts were guided by their knowledge of instruction, or as it ended up being communicated to teachers, by their personal knowledge of classroom management. Last several years have seen the further development of supervision and evaluation models that offer procedural options for both teachers and supervisors. These methods, such as action research, peer coaching, walkthroughs, and lesson study, can be tailored to the teacher's specific developmental level and curriculum area, providing a great variety of options to meet the unique needs of individuals within the context of the school environment. The new model we offer is called Performance-Based Supervision and Evaluation, or PBSE. We genuinely believe that the techniques associated with this model can help re-professionalize the work of teachers and provide efficient strategies to increase the analytic and instructional capacity of schools and schools districts. So, here is the example. Marcia Williams, an 8th grade social studies teacher at Fairview Middle School, organized her students' papers into a neat bundle ready for grading. At Marcia's end-of-year meeting with her principal last spring, had shared his excitement about a different way of approaching the whole process of supervision and evaluation. Just a moment earlier, he and his colleague administrators had taken part in a professional development program that provided in-depth information and simulation activities in a process called Performance-Based Supervision and Evaluation, or PBSE. She had decided to focus on furthering her students' understanding of economic globalization. In light of current events, this certainly seemed to be an authentic and appropriate consideration for social studies. It was part of the 8th grade curriculum and a topic that she found personally interesting. In addition, Marcia's 8th grade team was a close-knit group, and her colleagues had expressed interest in working on a year-long theme, perhaps one related to the world issues. Economic globalization seemed to fit the bill. Marcia arrived at her meeting with the principal with a proposed professional objective in hand. She began to explain a number of possible professional development activities, including reading about the world economy, collecting related newspaper and magazine articles, and sharing them with students. Investigating guest speakers who might present real-life information about domestic and worldwide economic changes, and holding weekly team meetings to discuss how the global economy theme might be addressed in math, science, and language art classes. She noted that she would assess her students' deepening understanding of economic globalization by engaging them in discussion around the topic at least once per marking period and taking notes on what they had to say. As evidence of her professional growth, she would collect artifacts of her instructional efforts, including students' assessments and comments, and share them with the principal once at mid-year and again at the end of the year. When Marcia had finished explaining her idea, Gary smiled and took a breath. Marcia's plan was timely, authentic, collaborative, and focused on enriching the 8th grade curriculum. It was fully in line with the type of supervisory process he had used with staff members for many years, but it was not in line with the plan to implement performance-based supervision and evaluation. To bring Marcia on board, he would need to help her bridge the divide between past practices and the new approach, one grounded in the analysis of student performance data, results-driven change, and a commitment to building instructional and organizational capacity. An overview of performance-based supervision and evaluation. It focuses more on instructional results than instructional process. It emphasizes setting meaningful and achievable professional goals, measured in terms of improved students' performance. It asks educators to individually and collectively analyze student work and use this data to address learning needs and areas of essential knowledge and skills throughout the curriculum. It asks teachers to design focused interventions to strengthen and enhance student learning and the target area. It asks teachers to develop a plan for continuing professional growth that is related to the focus for improved student performance and that further establishes them as role models of lifelong learning. It requires teachers to use evidence of student performance to demonstrate that learning has taken place. It marshals the power of mutual collaboration and commitment by the teacher, the supervisor, and additional expert resources. It links the work of classroom teachers with the goals of the school improvement plan. Performance-based supervision and evaluation requires teachers to reconsider their approach to their work. It asks them to make different decisions and use different procedures, to focus narrowly and deeply on content related to essential learning, and to commit to improving their diagnostic and problem-solving skills along with their instructional skills. Performance-based supervision and evaluation gives teachers a higher degree of control over the evaluation process as they work on a self-selected improvement objective aimed at bringing their students to higher levels of knowledge and understanding. In doing so, they determine not only what teaching and learning data will be the focus of their professional reflections